here, and I gotta call out, we saw in the room there, I feel like we saw opposite ends of the spectrum. On the one hand, we saw Nico and Dish Soap, you know, kind of the favorites, and on the other hand, we saw Bryce and Froden sitting at their 8th place there a little bit here, so hopefully they can pick it up today.
Hopefully.
Oh, this lobby's a Dog, Dish Soap, Raditz, Iniko, Frodan, Becca, and a Hafu lobby. I didn't even notice.
It's also 4 tiers, so might be AP heavy. No.
Cold ashes. There you go.
I did hear that Hafu is planning on just going reroll.
Yep.
So that's why they're saying all that.
Yeah, I saw earlier today. Hafu was practicing playing the Ash reroll with Dog coaching. I thought that was pretty great. We were given, you know, the bad advice how to roll down. You know, do you go down to 40 gold, 30 gold on that 3-1 roll down? What's your opinion on that?
Personally, I think you should try to roll a bit. I think there are like some kind of math regarding it, right? I usually just do like 30 gold when it comes to doing 1-cost rerolls that require a lot.
The problem, as we've learned this weekend, though, is anytime we have like TFT math out there that's been proven, half of it's bad math, and then there's just this myth that gets perpetuated in the community. So, you know.
It's hard to say for those things because I guess you need to like really look into how they did the math.
Yeah, for sure.
I just trust it.
Yeah, if it's like a player like Socks, I would just trust him. You know?
All right, baby, what item do you slam here?
Right now, I honestly really do enjoy Last Whisper in this set because there are so many armor value, especially with the introduction of Defender synergy. No matter what composition you go for, there will be a lot of armor, and if you don't build into any type of shred, then you just can't get through the enemy front line. However, right now we're looking at Law, and I feel like he wants to go for something a bit different. I did tell Law to force Oxfords, no matter what, every game.
This is interesting.
Would you just take the Talon one?
So Stacks on Stacks is a pretty cool option here. It doesn't really have the items for it, though. Call the Meek, I think, has been kind of the safe one. We're going to see a Stacks on Stacks game.
This is a TFT game. For sure.
So Stacks on Stacks, I think we've seen, has been doing pretty well. If you can get that, 3-star Nasus early, get those stacks going. For those of you at home that don't know the way this works, is every time Nasus casts a spell, he gains 2% AD.
Oh,
Wait, he doesn't have a shop. Is that...
Because he locked.
Oh,
Yep.
He locked?
He locked, right?
Yep.
That's why he doesn't have a shop.
Did he?
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. One shop, but we'll see. We'll see what happens afterwards. I don't know. They might remake. We'll see. I have stacks. We'll see if they remake. But anyways, I was saying Stacks on Stacks is good, and I think the challenge here has been figuring out what the right item build is for it. A lot of people have been debating what that is. So it looks like we're going to have a remake here. Something about a bug, something. If only we had somebody who worked at Riot here, we could yell at.
Kent!
Kent, get over here. There's a bug.
Law is so angry right now. He was actually really happy to get that like a Stacks on Stacks.
It's a fun augment.
He's like raging like crazy right next to the corner. I feel like the other players in the lobby are actually kind of happy. Maybe they got like really bad augments. They want to go for Ash, but I didn't see any Ash augments for sure. So maybe that could be a factor.
So Kent, we were looking for somebody who works at Riot because of we just had to remake because of a bug. So obviously I was looking for you here. So when
there's a bug, it's Mort's fault. So
well, come on.
What was the bug? I missed it.
He didn't have a shop. We couldn't check the replay. We thought maybe he locked by accident, but he didn't have a shop. So they agreed to remake.
They forced the bug on purpose instead of breaking their mouse this time, so that they can remake. It's a bold strategy, but it worked. Yeah. They didn't like their 2-1 hero augment.
Oh, but that's the thing he did. He had Stacks on Stacks.
He loved it actually.
It was just
you see the
a
look on
backup
Kent's
plan.
face.
Sad.
So we just got confirmation that he did indeed lock the shop. So we will definitely be shaming him later. But he gave up Stacks on Stacks because he accidentally locked the shop.
I am really enjoyed to see what the punishment for that would be.
I should be
I feel like that does. It is kind of sus.
Yeah, that's a 50 DKP minus right there. That's all right, so we're back here. No belt. This is the tier opener again.
Wow, how'd you get 2 tier openers in a row?
Did you press a button?
I mean, you know, my phone's in my pocket. No promises.
Wait, is it gonna be the exact same game as the
Oh,
previous one?
okay,
Yeah,
if
he's
he
gonna
gets
get
stacks on stacks again, then we have questions.
For you.
I can neither confirm nor deny I am the real Mort Dog.
All right, currently we're looking at Law's board again. It will take a few more like a time to see exactly what augments he's going to start with, but he did pick the sword with the Gangplank, and I honestly don't enjoy a sword start too much because I don't think it's that versatile. There's only very few number of composition that he can choose to go for. We'll see exactly what direction he wants to take.
How do you feel about an IE slam, baby?
Ice Slam? I don't enjoy Ice Slam from the
Yeah.
beginning. Last Whispers is just too important to have if you
Yeah.
want to go physical damage.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just like if you're gonna go physical, it's always like a bow. The BF doesn't really do much early on
Yep.
without like a lot of extra.
Usually BF is a
Other
late
items.
game itemization so
Yeah.
that you can get Bloodthirster, so you can go for Bloodthirster's Leona, Fiddlesticks, or anything that you want during the late game because it does provide a lot of healing value, especially on something like Nunu.
So to reframe the question, let's say you're stuck with a sword start. What two components are you hoping drop with it?
Oh, that's a hard one. I guess the best case scenario
glove.
would be a tier. So that you can get Shoujins. Wait, what is that?
I said bow and a glove.
I mean, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
But I think here's a good idea, right? Because you could flex into like
Oh, thank you.
AP and all those
Thank
other
you.
comps.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Deathblade. Like, I feel like at least that gives you the Deathblade out. And Deathblade can do a lot of power in the early game when armor's not that high.
Oh.
So I think it's at least an option. But it does lock you and it restricts you. And like you said, the AD tree this set is a little narrow. So it does mean you've kind of blocked out a lot of possible options.
I think the Deathblade makes sense if you have like a
right.
duelist start.
Okay, not the hero augment.
Oh, these are good.
Is it?
Yeah,
that
he has a sword start, so he can go for a sure shot crest and build into like a very like a nice like a 3-star like a sure shot composition, or he can get the admins because I honestly think admins are very overpowered, especially if you roll the right one.
Interesting.
Yeah, the value you can get from like admin crest is really
Oh,
insane. And,
okay.
oh, taking the sure shots.
I feel like the admin one is like really nice because you just get the direction from the admin.
Yeah,
right?
I can see
because
that.
he doesn't exactly have items that like tell him to go one or the other right now. Right? He could like, oh, I guess he just slams.
Yeah, I think
But-
slamming here is fine because right now since he has sure shot like a synergy going online, the AD scaling will be very rewarding for an early like Infinity for sure. So I feel like this decision very decent. I would prefer if he levels up too. Nice, good job here.
Nice.
Eventually he'll have to go for like undergrounds because he will need more itemizations. A sure shot comps with the Felix and Samira do need more itemizations. They need more tanks. They need more DPS itemizations to be more competitive.
Yep.
So I am expecting him to keep the undergrounds so that he can get more items or stacks during the late game.
So the
Would
one.
you not hold the ashes for the?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
feel like that's
I
just
would
better
hold the
right now.
ashes to get rid of the gangplank.
Yeah.
You run the Ash 2 if you hit it. Sure
Yeah.
shot Ash is going to be doing a lot of damage. And then just focus on pure tank items for the rest of the carousels and everything else.
I mean, that would be stronger, but this is cooler.
Okay,
Having
okay.
a pirate with a sword is cool.
I can't argue that. But yeah, I feel like passing on the 2 ashes here is just big
It's wrong.
misplay.
Mhm.
All right.
You
so-
probably give up the kills for the ashes, bro.
A
Yeah,
build
yeah.
different. Iniko actually going for the build different composition. Interesting.
So he checks the admin here. I don't expect that he'll be playing it. So built different to a lot of, we've been talking around the day, and I think a lot of people are saying built diff 1, but built diff 2, really good here. And so, especially because you can play like the 3 aces in the end game. I don't think we've seen it win today, though.
I also skipped double trouble with build diff, and I'll never be
Oh,
let
yes,
down
you
for that.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So, I mean, how do you feel about, like, so you make a big mistake like that, just a terrible, terrible mistake, like something you'll just never live down. I mean, like, how do you feel like when you just make such a horrible mistake that chat's going to ream you for the next 3 months?
Oh, I mean, I felt bad about it, obviously, at the time, and a little bit after, but then, honestly, losing is knowledge. Losing is improved, so I take that, and then it's something I'll never make again, a mistake I'll never make again, so I think, on the long run, I gain more knowledge. You know?
I like the optimism. I really
It's
do.
just copium. It's just copium.
Like Morg was staring so hard in the void when he said, "This is going to haunt you for the rest of your life."
Oh, yeah.
Chad is going to know you was staring at the map.
Nightmares, for sure.
But the thing with Boy Sins is he's made a ton of mistakes that like like he's
Infinite knowledge. Infinite knowledge.
Infinite mistakes.
I mean, that's something you can be proud of, like infinite mistakes.
I don't know that one.
Amazing. So, do any of you favor built diff like at the start?
I feel it's only for getting fourth and nothing more. I mean, the good thing about Build Different is that it gives attack speed, and there are a lot of AP carries. So what does that mean? It gives your 4/5 cost AP carries more mana, so they can expand their ultimates more frequently.
Right.
So it is very favored in a set like 8, where there are multiple AP carries like Misfortune or Soraka, but I feel like the damage output is just too little, and the synergy value is just too high.
Oh, so you get a look at the augments here. Dog, I'm blanking on the name of it. Help me out here.
That is
Hustler.
Hustler,
Yeah, that's a really good one here. Other than that, Becca's got Jeweled Lotus. We saw Bryce with the Sure Shot. Froden has the Duelist, so obviously going to lean into that Zed that we've seen all day here. Raditz with Rich Get Richer. That's one that's not very popular amongst the Challenger players.
Oh, I actually think it's really good right now.
Oh, yeah?
Because it gives too much economy. So if you get Rich Get Richer from the beginning, or during the middle change was actually really beautiful in the fact that with that economy, you can actually get any comp that you want. You have enough money to get 3 cost 3 stars, you have enough money to get 4 cost 2 stars. So it kind of guarantees the economy to a point where you actually won't have to worry too much about upgrades.
So you think the change to the augment was a really good change?
Yeah.
And whoever made that change at Riot should be really happy and proud.
Yeah.
Let me just place the medal on myself.
I'll say one thing for Rich. Is this mic on?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say one thing for Rich Get Richer. It's that like this side is actually mid game you have to like actually play a strong board, you lose HP. So because of that, everyone is playing strong board. So if you're trying to sack, you lose infinite HP. A lot of the times before you could take Rich Get Richer, just econ through and you have like 40 or so HP for your level 7 roll down. But this set, I'm pretty sure if you just try to... Okay, I'll use the mic for this set, I'm pretty sure if you just try to lose streak, like, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. So if you take Rich Get Richer, it's still really good. But I think rin streaking with it is a lot better than trying to lose streak and hard econ with it this set.
So,
I can see that.
So you're saying you just like slam levels basically with the econ that you get?
Yeah. You just take the will that you get.
I see.
Sometimes you can take advantage of the extra like 70 interest you can make, but a lot of times I think you just take the initial gold and just troubles.
I think one game, Solus went 5 at 2-1 with Rich Get Richer.
I mean, speaking of which, I can see that. That sounds like a Solus play.
Is a terrorist.
but speaking of which, I mean, we have Raditz here at 6 with Rich Get Richer. So
Yeah.
Raditz is down to bully the lobby here.
And he's still quite rich.
He has so many upgrades, like wow. is that 3 natural upgrades?
Yeah, I think I prefer this playstyle with Rich Get Richer.
So that's an interesting change to see.
However, I don't know if I like that Guardbreaker this early.
Would you have?
I feel Sunfire Keep would have been more like flexible because Guardbreaker doesn't really build into anything in particular. It's a decent itemization that does increase the overall damage of your like main carry, but it doesn't really provide real carry itemizations like Guinsons for Zed or Archangels for Aesol and so on.
So
I'm pretty sure he got a gold opener. So he just slammed the first item he had.
And then
he
got the
a chain
armor
from-
off the carousel.
Ah,
That makes
just
sense.
to win the
That
fate.
makes
That
sense.
makes a lot of sense.
And if the Guardbreaker is the difference that let him 5 streak, then like 100% it's totally worth it. Because Guardbreaker is still like
It's still damage.
It's not the ideal item, but like I'd still be like happy or okay with building it, especially it's a win streak.
Yeah, earlier
that's a good
today, I got a 7th because a lot of what contributed to it. Yes, I didn't find Zed and I was malding about it, but I had an Ionic on my bench at 2/6er, and I could have 5-streaked if I slammed Ionic, but I greeted too much. And then thinking back, obviously it's a mistake.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like, assuming you're in a case where you could choose between Sunfire and Guardbreaker early, I agree with Bebe that Sunfire is like to win streak, but you're gonna like hate that Sunfire at like 4-1, 5-1. So the Guardbreaker's like investing, and so in a way, Raditz kind of got away with the greedy play here. You know, he's got the stronger late game item, but like he got away with it basically.
Oh, this sub actually going for Camille reroll combos right now. I honestly think Camille reroll and like Israel reroll are one of like the best like a reroll like compositions in the meta. I don't know if it works without the Camille hero augment though. We'll see exactly how far this goes.
Oh yeah, that's why he's cutting the Camille Hero augment right here.
Yeah. He's gonna get it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a 60% chance for like this augment to be a hero augment, right?
6%.
60%, this right? 60%, I think.
If you're assuming, so it's basically it's like it's 32, 5 is left, so whatever 64 out of 69% is, which I can't do off the top of my head. So
So is that a yes?
Everyone's trying to do the math in their
Yeah,
head, but the
okay.
point is, it's somewhere around like.
The point is that like if he's trying to play Camille, I think there's actually a decent chance that he hits the Camille augment here, especially because he's playing on his board. If he doesn't, then like the items still aren't bad for like say Belveth. Oh, actually, I might. Okay, if he goes 8th because he's trying to play Belveth, that might be my fault. I told him that Belveth was good before he went upstairs.
Let's
Find out.
Oh,
Okay.
you're right. It is a hero.
Wait, he took the support one
Yeah, he
though.
does the support, but,
Nice,
like,
nice.
the support augment is very strong.
It's still good.
So,
Oh, I heard
my.
something really interesting. I hear that it doesn't matter if you take up the orb or not. Is that right? I mean, I hear people do it just to look cool, but it doesn't really affect the board or like a.
I've had to explain this like 6 times this weekend.
okay.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me.
oh, he is not
Where's
finding any
Camille?
Camille's. Oh,
Oh,
he's
he found
No,
okay.
that's good.
That's a high roll. No.
Is it a high roll?
No, you rolled like 50, 40 gold.
It is a high roll.
He highly rolled always gold away.
This is an awkward spot, I feel like.
Yes.
But Bebe, to clarify, the Camille is taken out of the pool instantly.
Ah.
So it's in the orb. The one justification I've heard now that everyone knows that is like, well, it keeps the bench clear. So it does keep the bench clear. And so that is true, but you're not like manipulating the shop odds or anything. There's a Camille in that orb. There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, okay. So it's just used to make myself look cool and better to
Yes.
people that don't know anything. All right,
Correct.
all right, good. Oh, this will contribute to my new Turkin knowledge. Thank you.
All right, so Void, for everyone at home, why don't you tell them what the Camille augment does?
Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I have not played a lot of games except for Zed, but I know this one, Hextrack Retribution, it's the one that for each ally that dies, you gain more damage. So, what, 5%? You get 10% initial damage and 5% for each ally.
Yep.
So I think for Camille herself, probably, obviously, like the adapted defenses is probably a bit better, but this one's still, like, fine, I think.
Yeah, this one turns out really good, right? Especially with Renegade, right? Where it's like you let the other 2 Renegades die, you're up to that 60% damage, and then you get more. All right, so Frodan playing Underground, passed on his first heist,
Interesting.
has the Duelist emblem we saw earlier. This Vi augment is basically probably one of the best hero augments in the game. It's just 250 health for your team, but it's so flexible, and with Vi being an Aegis in the end game, it's so valuable in the end game also. So I think this has clearly become a very popular augment.
These are a little bit interesting that he has to like slam on Shojin.
Yeah, he
Like
plays
on
Shojins on
Duelist.
Sona as well, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean it is strongest right now, but it's
It
just
looks like you got 2 tiers.
Yeah, his items don't look very good for the...
I honestly don't think you always have to go for physical damage, even if you want to go for like a duelist. You can just use them as a bonus source of like a damage for your team. And if he decides to go for maybe like an Archangels, I think he can go for like a duelist Aesol or duelist like a Archangels like a Soda for now.
Duelist, MF, Aesol, they all sound reasonable. Especially like, since a lot of them actually fit in reasonably. Oh, so a lot of them actually fit in reasonably well. Like Talia, you can play Nyla and Echo in reasonably on most duelist boards.
Yep.
It's not like always ideal because you don't necessarily want attack speed that much on those units, but it's a board that can definitely work.
it seems like he's going for static shift right now. Probably.
So we got 3 Sivir augments, by the way. How much you want to bet they're all endless pizzas?
I wouldn't bet on that one.
I mean, I don't see a reason why anybody would pick the other one, right? The AoE healing one. So, you have to take here, right?
No, I think you go one more.
One more? He's gonna go down to 20.
I think you take one more here.
Frodan's gonna kill him.
Bryce has shown that he is the level of player that should probably cash out here.
Yes, I think he will cash out because I think he's
Warthog is so cruel.
Will
Holy.
he make the smart choice?
like
Look, I'm just talking about results here.
Badge.
like he just wants to like improve on like yesterday's performance and
Yeah.
like going for the safe play here is like what I would expect.
And for those who don't know, if you agree too much on underground stacks, of course you will get better rewards, but it's not guaranteed to be a good reward that will like win you the game. So it's usually best to cut off at least 40 to 50 HP so that you won't lose too much HP, so you'll like die accidentally to one bad fight, while having a small bonus to go along the way. So you don't want to greed like undergrounds too much.
Yeah, I mean, the whole concept here is, right, is like essentially you're trading health, usually, unless you get lucky and can win streak. You're trading that health for the item value later. And like you said, it's how much health are you comfortable being at. If you get down to that 10 and 20, one bad fight just cost you the entire game.
I mean, I feel like in this set, the units and composition are just so strong that no matter how strong you can get, you can't really guarantee wins. Even if you're a challenger player, even if you have a really strong deck, one bad fight, one bad CC, one bad like a Zed, like a hitting your back line, and you just die off.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Especially with this Leona unit existing.
I love
Leona bursts down a tank or a key carry, and that's the whole fight swings.
I love the detail of how he keeps the undergrounds after proccing the boat.
So, baby, I have a question for you. You're pretty famous for knowing to like play really aggressive tempo. Do you think that playstyle is good this set? Because I like to play that way too, but not as much as you do.
I feel rolling at level 4, 5, and 6, and 7. 4, 5, 6, and especially 7 is going to be very rewarding in this set.
Yeah.
So you want to finish off with like a really cheap composition, and that's because with Hero Ogma system, the compositions that are 3 costs or lower can actually contest 4 and 5 cost compositions, and 5 costs in this set are not as strong as they used to be as compared to previous sets. So so nobody's going to go level 8, 5 cost 2 star instant win the game. That's not going to happen anymore.
Oh, that fight was so close.
Oh, and the ping for good measure.
I mean, of course, you've got a ping. Nice, nice. All right, moving over to Hafu, 34 health.
Oh, Oxfords!
Oh,
Oxfords first!
We love Oxforce.
I'm not joking. This is actually the strongest like attack in the game, but I would prefer if she gets rid of the hackers. No. Go for more Oxfords, reroll down, look for that Alistar. That's what she needs to do, and I think she can actually win this game.
Okay.
Especially once she gets like Viego, and it will be similar to like what we saw with Prestiven's board. With,
So, baby, walk us through this here. What's the level 7 board from this position?
All you have to do, Oxfords are very simple. You just go for a vertical Oxfords, maybe add in like a 2 duelist, and if you can't get Zed here, you can just use Velvet because Velvet gets so much stronger with the extra like attack speed. However, you can't really go for hackers too much. I hope that she looks for the duelist. Velvet is good too, put the Velvet in. Annie.
Oh, Viego.
Viego goes in. All right. I would prefer she added in a duelist. I'll just the Fiora's right there. And all right, this should be good enough.
Oh, yeah. Now, we were calling this out yesterday, that Hafu was skipping a lot of Alistars, not really prioritizing the Alistar, which is really rough because very commonly you play the Annie plus Alistar, and then that leads you into the Aegis frontline. So it's pretty popular. So seeing this Aegis sit here on the shop feels like a misplay to all of you?
yes.
Oh, especially this Redemption Slam? Or is she playing
especially with Oxforce 6 being so strong, like it's just
You have to go for more damage here, so I would prefer that she makes a static shift, and since Oxforce gives so much like attack speed, the static shift will get a lot of value in the end. Oxford compositions doesn't really need tank itemization, so double war mouse is very unlucky for Hafu. So let's just hope that... I feel in this spot, since she's so low in HP, I think she needs to look for Zed to...
Okay, the Hacker Crest is kind of nice
Hacker
here.
is so good here.
Okay.
I would take that instantly. Hacker Viego for 70% Omnivamp on your Viego.
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds amazing.
Really strong.
Nice.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, if she gets Acel too, she can actually use Acel instead of Zed as well too. No.
Doesn't buy it though here. Yeah, I feel like you're definitely trying to at least hit one of the 2-star 4 costs here.
The other Wormhouse can go on Zed, I think. Zed might die too fast since he's currently a 1-star, so in order to make him live a bit more longer, I feel like you can put the Wormhouse onto Zed so he can survive a bit more decently. She's trying to look for 4 cost 2 stars here. She's currently thinking about how to put in the Alistar. She's thinking very much, okay, another Viego.
It looks like she needs to go 8 to fit in her full composition that she wants to run.
And that is correct, actually.
It is best to go 8 for this board because it does require a lot of slots.
Zed. Give it to Zed. Zed's gonna die. Don't let it proc too fast. It proc.
Oh. I feel like, yeah, in this position, though, you're basically playing, like you said, 4 hackers, 6 Oxforce around the Viego carry with 3 Renegade, probably.
She needs to get rid of the hacker, like a LeBlanc. I feel hackers aren't really that important to go for, whereas getting Oxfords in is actually significant, like a power boost. The reason why Hafu's losing isn't really because of her comp, it's mostly because of her itemizations. Her itemizations are not clean. She doesn't have like a proper carry. She just wants 1 damage item for Zed, so Zed can be useful. If she gets a 4 cost 2-star here, then maybe... Oh, that's better! That's better! Aphelios! Nice! All right.
She sold the Alistar, though.
Oh, he sold the
Take
Alistar?
the LeBlanc
Oh, no.
out. Take the LeBlanc out. Put it in. Come on, over there. Nice. All right, now we can see this composition in action. I would prefer the statics onto the Aphelios as well too, since it's going to be attacking from the behind. Can she do it? Come on, make it. Nice tier. Make him cry.
Nice.
Yes!
Good.
All right, she's getting it. She's getting it. It'd be nice if the warm-outs on Annie was on Zed too, so Zed wouldn't like a proc like Osprey synergy like too fast. But this should be good enough to wait. Is she dead?
All that hype, baby. All that hype.
It's too bad.
She's just
Oh wait,
lacking
not dead,
upgrades.
not dead. Wait.
I think
Dead.
we might be dead. I think we might be dead. No. Oh, baby, all that hype. What you caster cursed so hard.
I mean, it was really unlucky itemization, so not much to be done there, to be honest. Like items that she got, right?
I don't know. I feel like there were some choices there we saw.
I mean,
So you
yeah,
know.
that will be nicer.
I mean, to be fair, she was off for 4 belts. I don't
Yeah.
think I was the caster in this slot that has a curse there. No. 4 belts, 2 bows, 1 tier. No, it's not me.
Are you implying she got Mort Dog? Is that what you're doing?
No, I did not say that. Oh.
All right, so moving on to Froden here.
Oh,
he's got
wow.
this champion. We haven't seen this champion all day. Void,
Right.
are you familiar with this one?
Froden's done something I could never do. Hit Z2. So, especially at 7.
That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, he also adds in I've never seen a Soraka Zed tech before. Do you guys know what this is?
I think he's just putting it for now because he doesn't want to roll too much, right?
I think
for
part of it
admins.
could be what the admin is. We didn't see what the
Admins.
admin is. This be the kind of thing we send somebody upstairs and be like, "What's the admin?"
Froden actually looking like he's gonna win this fight. Oh, I guess casters can be challenger players.
Okay, Void. So you're a Zed expert. I hear you played it 1 or 2 games. What do you think of these? What do you think of these items?
Honestly, I think they're fine. Since he's playing less hackers, the Hodge isn't that bad of a choice because usually you would play 3 hackers and go either full DPS or have one of the DPS items be replaced by QSS or Edge of Night. I think with playing 2 hacker and his current board, I think this itemization is fine. RC and Deathblade are not that bad.
I completely agree with Void. The best thing and the most important thing about atomizing Zed is that you need 8 attack damage, so a Deathblade or Time Resolves or Giant Slayers, and you need attack speed. So that would be a rapid fire Kanzu Guinsu. So right now, Frodan has all of the essential itemizations that Zed needs. Hannah Justice is a bit wasted, as Void said, because he already has a healing from hackers, so he doesn't really need that small additional like healing boost from like a Zed whatsoever. So maybe like a utility item like Runeans or Edge of Night could have been better, or maybe like another damage atomization.
So you're not a fan of the Death Cap Archangels Ginsu's Zed?
AP Zed?
I'm actually I prefer more 2 Stoneplate Zed.
Oh, 2 Stoneplate Zed. That seems pretty good.
Oh, and Ionic Spark.
Okay.
I've seen him slam Ionic Spark on it.
You know, we could do the hacker triple Ionic Spark into the backline. That seems pretty good.
Wow, these guys are Zed experts. Wow, Gargoyle Zed, Archangels Rabadon Zed.
Bebe's mind is like, what are these guys talking about?
They mastered everything.
This is perfect. All right, so Froden has the Zed. He's doing really well here. Cashed out with that 2 heist, so he's up probably a few components over everybody else as well. That's got to feel pretty good.
I mean, I'm hoping Froden does well because he's a good friend of mine, and I know he beats himself up for doing poorly. Like yesterday, he didn't have the grades
Oh
performance.
yeah,
so
they
if
were
he does,
taking it pretty hard.
Yeah, so if he does well today, it's going to be a great confidence boost, and his beautiful smile will be on display.
We're looking at Nico's board at the moment, and he did go for a build difference start. But actually, the thing about build difference is that you're supposed to win early and lose late. But it seems right now it's going to be the opposite: lose early and lose late.
Yeah, and you can see he's already kind of pivoted out of build diff. He's got
At
the
least for the front line.
Yeah, for the Aegis and the mech front line. And so the back line is this Misfortune, the Samira 1 though, that's a little rough. Not amazing items here.
The thing is, with build different, I think you need like Samira 2, MF2. You need decent front line, but you need like especially like good damage items on both those carries, and it's really hard to get those items, you know.
I do like the detail of adding in the Aegis and the Defenders, though. I feel like it's good to add in Defender and Aegis units because they're just tanks. They can just die anyway. They don't really need the attack speed or the HP bonus. And you can just use them to buff up your build different carry so that they have more armor and like MR value. So I feel like this is actually very good detail to like put onto the composition.
So my hot take here, by the way, Guard Breaker without Jeweled Gauntlet, not worth it all.
Yeah, that's correct.
Since Guard Breaker's got that extra crit, you're losing that 20% crit value, and Misfortune doesn't really care that her autos have 20% crit.
Right.
Exactly. But he can't really do anything about it. He needed an extra damage item.
Sure, but I mean, at that point, I would actually put it on the Samira. At least you get the autos with the higher crit there, and then look for a third item, hopefully, on the Misfortune a little later.
Oh, that is actually really good detail since crit does actually scale really well with 80 units. Like right now, crit gives like a 20% on any gauntlet itemization.
Yep.
So if you put on any 80 cure, you actually get a very significant damage boost, whether you notice it or not. So I feel like that is also a good point. But right now, Nico, I think, just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very rough spot.
I imagine he'll come right downstairs and let us know how he feels about this game.
Oh man, I was so unlucky this game. This game, I went for build different, but I couldn't win. Something like that?
Oh, that was me yesterday, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Looking for nothing at the moment. There's nothing he's looking for. He's just rolling down. Because,
Yeah, this
like,
is this is a pretty rough spot here. Misfortune with just built diff, like no anima to build her up. You know, that's a rough thing. Can't even proc the ace to get the 12% extra damage. Like, that's rough.
I mean, I heard a couple people yesterday saying that build diff was like in a decent spot this set, but I don't really share that opinion because I feel like you need too much to get a high placement. Do you guys agree with that?
That does make sense.
I don't agree. I feel like you can play built different as long as, like, let's say you're offered it at 2-1, and you've got 2 stars on the bench, and you know you can play a really strong board, then it can work really well.
Right.
But if you've got no 2 stars, then I think you should, like, kind of avoid it.
Yeah.
Unico taken down by his partner Dish Soap. At least it will give a bit more HP to Dish. Dish currently having a Camille 3-star combat ready. Oh, he actually managed to find the Viego with hackers, a Vi 3-star for a front, no tank itemizations. But since he has Camille, that by itself is a giga tank. Every time he kills something, that's sure to heal back to full. So as long as Camille doesn't get one-shotted, he is actually very likely to win most fights.
Yeah, like when I last saw him, he was like 10 gold with Camille 2, and then I thought he would take a very long time to hit Camille 3, but then it seems like his board is stabilized and he's in a pretty good spot.
I mean, that's just how strong the Camille decks are. If you just hit it, then it's just strong enough to like a win streak you during the mid game. It guarantees you a good potential to get first or second. I always wondered, was Camille designed to be a unit that after she ults, she just heals back to full? Every single time. She kills something, heals full, kills something, heals full. Is that right?
I mean, certainly with this much power, you know, it seems very strong. But
it took no damage the entire fight.
I mean, it took some damage.
Okay.
It is interesting that he is hackering it. Then I've never really seen this.
Oh, you can actually use hackers to get into the backline, but you don't have to because Camille can just kill the front line, heal back to full every single damage it takes. You actually want her to tank damage because of that. And then she can reach the back line.
Yeah, I feel like Camille does struggle, though, if you get like a strong defender front line or like the mech, for example. That's when Camille will get stuck.
There are 2 hacker spots.
So many hackers
so then
there.
Dishsoap gets one, and then Fronin gets one if he decides to go for it.
Cool. All right, teammates taking it 1 by 1.
Yeah, and again, the hacker is so good because not only does it give somebody else that Omnivamp, but it increases it for everybody else.
Exactly.
So there's just so much Omnivamp now on your team. And the other thing is, we don't see a lot of people prioritizing anti-heal now that it's down to that 33%, but that can make a pretty big difference.
Oh, Raidus with Rich Get Richer and I'm assuming that's Nico like a Severe Leg Augment. Actually matched to level 9, rolling down for first time. I guess this he greeted all the damage so far. But I honestly don't like this spot too much because I feel like a bunch of random 5-cost 2-stars aren't really that strong to win you fights. What do you guys think?
You definitely need good itemization. I've done that before, and it feels underwhelming because you have no one that's really doing that much damage. Maybe Aphelios 2 might do some, but he can get outscaled. We'll see how it happens.
Let's see, the fight is going. It's up against Frodan, the Zed player. Will the Zed be able to take down the Aphelios? It did juke it with the Edge of Knife, so Aphelios is doing... Is that thing doing damage, though? Shoot. Shoot.
I mean,
it is. All right, doing damage.
All that trash talk, and then Raidus wins the fight.
Okay, I guess 5 cost Aphelios isn't really that bad.
Yeah, the thing to note with that is as long as you have the 2 sure shot in, by the mid to late game in the fight, you've got so much extra AD from the sure shot that, yeah, there's actually a decent chunk of damage there. And again, we talked about the itemization. He's got the IE, which then makes the guard breaker even better. So this Aphelios is sitting at like 80% crit rate, which is really good. If we can get the Aphelios too, this is a really good spot. And I like the Edge of Night here because of all the Zeds. Being able to drop that aggro is going to be really valuable.
And the Camille.
Yep.
Oh, he's actually taking down the mech. I'm really surprised he didn't go for Mech Leona here because I feel like he could have done the same thing while getting the bonuses. I guess he just wants a flat Leona and he's going to keep the Rammus in the middle.
Yeah, the Rammus, keeping the Rammus around, it's got the blue buff Morello, which is an interesting itemization.
I heard about this from Radis. Radis loves Rammus. He thinks it's one of the best 3 costs to keep in the game. It gives AoE CC, it reduces like attack damage, so it's basically like a mini Sejuani. So right now he has 2 Sejuanis on his board, and what does that mean? That means he has no damage, so he's gonna lose the fight.
I think I think that is one part of Rammus's kit that people forget about, is that anti-AD that's on Rammus to really weaken some of these AD comps.
All right, speaking of like about the last fight, I remember this one time PvE. I was playing a fully capped out like 5 cost board, everything upgraded. I just could not beat the Camille because I didn't have enough damage.
Yeah,
that's like deja vu, right?
It heals it full.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about most like composition in this game. Like mechs are like that as well too, and same thing for like Camille, like a 3-star rerolls. Nothing dies if you don't have enough burst damage.
Yeah, I mean, if Camille is your target here, I feel like you have to go red damage Aphelios. That's the only way you're going to have any shot of that. But Aphelios 1 probably isn't going to do it no matter what. You really are going to have to really hope for this Aphelios 2 here. It's also why oftentimes like the 4 sure shot build is just so much better because again, you get that final damage to burst down that key target.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a really good point. In this situation, it might just be better to take out 2 units and add in 2 more sure shot units because Aphelios is your only source of damage. You want to make sure that it does as much DP as possible. Mortdog, that was an amazing tip. Wow, that is actually the correct answer here.
Oh no, I've seen this before. It's pair prison.
Sell the Urgot.
Yeah, the pair prison's rough here. And again, the fact that we saw no Aphelios is here.
Oh,
that's really
he has to
rough.
sell. He's gonna die. Sell something. That's not Aphelios.
You gotta sell the Urgot.
Yes,
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Good job. Oh, I feel Morello's would have been better on Fiddlesticks, but okay, that's not bad too.
Yeah, I mean, when you're desperate here, and you can see it, kind of the reason is because Bryce on the other side has the other 2-star Aphelios, so it makes sense that we weren't hitting. Yeah, this is one of those fights where, again, I feel like Red Gun would be doing a lot more work.
Wow, look at all that AoE CC. Look at that Leona ult shooting like a Seppa. It's not good enough, but wow.
The shot's gonna... Nope,
It's
not enough.
His Sports Law actually managed to get second. It's Frodan. Isn't Frodan first? Is that first and second for a counter team?
No.
It might be.
Oh, they have to get through the Camille.
strong.
Dish Soap standing in the way saying, no, I'm not playing around here. I'll show you guys what it means to be challenger.
Now, Void, you touched on this earlier, but this is going to be a massive confidence boost for Dan and Bryce if they can come out 1-2. I mean, they're already 1-3 worst case, or even 2-3. They're going to be feeling really good, and they needed this format to not get last place.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think both of them are like good players.
Oh, look at that. Look how excited he is.
Yeah. I think both of them, even though they're casters, they're decently good players.
Decently
You see
good
Becca
players.
in the background having a little fun there.
Okay, Frodan currently fighting against the Law, but we want to see the other board right now because that is going to decide whether Dish Soap is going to die and whether our caster team will be able to win. Frodan will not take too much damage from this matchup. Will he be able to win? Nice, Aphelios going down. And,
I think we're looking at the
Camille's down.
non-ghost
Camille
fight.
died.
So,
Oh,
Yep.
they are going 1-2.
yep, looks like we're going
My
1-2. They are really happy about that. That's going to feel good. Rate it, tell us how it went up there.
I had infinite gold.